Hello, I'm Ellie. I go by Ellie Melly. I'm a small artist and a business owner. I share my art and hope to make a living off of my art one day. I wanted to make this video because I feel like I've gained a lot of tips that would have been helpful to know when I was starting my art business. And while I'm very small, I still have earned a lot of experience. I've been running this business for almost a year. I started really doing things in April, but the website wasn't launched till November. So year is like a tentative term, but I've had a lot of experiences. I've tabled 4 times. I've made online sales. I've shipped out orders. I've set up a website. I've done a lot of things. So even though I'm still small, I'm still qualified to like talk on the subject. So here are a couple things I wish I knew when I was starting an art business and how they can help you start your art business in 2024 or whenever you're watching this. The first tip I have for someone who's starting their art business in like social media in 2024 or really whenever is to be authentic. I think that's kind of like a basic kind of cliche thing, just like be yourself, but truly being authentic and showcasing what is unique and special about you as a person and as your business and your brand and all these things is super important for that connection with customers and with people who are viewing your content and purchasing your products. You know, they want to know that there's a real person behind everything and that they're supporting a real person when they buy stuff or when they watch a video where they like something. So just being authentic is something that's really important to me, and I think is important to many people and how they choose when to spend their time and money on in terms of like content and art, especially because there's a lot of really great talented artists out there, a lot of great creators out there. So you have to craft the audience that you want to see, find like-minded people who enjoy the same things, who will kind of understand that authenticity, and just know that you can't please everyone. Like, there's gonna be some people who don't vibe with you, and that's not a reflection of you. Some people just don't get to witness your awesomeness, and that's okay. That's on them. That's their loss. And we don't need their negative energy in our space. So, be authentic. Next tip I have for when you're starting a business right off the bat is to conserve as much as you can and really use the resources around you. I made this mistake going into like when I was starting things. I had money because I was working a day job and I didn't plan as well as I probably should have. Like, bought a bunch of clay, and while it was important and necessary for my steps as my business was kind of like the idea was coming together to be formed, I do think I could have like financially made some smarter decisions instead of buying every single little thing that I thought was necessary. And also, I got a little over ambitious about tabling events. I signed up for like 3 as soon as I had some products, and I did not break even on those profits. I still haven't, because it was quite expensive, the application and the booth fee and all these different things. And while it was great for experience, and your first couple of booths will be more experience based than profit based, as you get to build up an audience and get people to know you and your art. It's more about experience in the beginning, but you shouldn't go like sign up for expensive markets that you don't know anything about. You don't know how well they're going to do. And I just got a little giddy. I did like 4 or 5 markets, and while it was really good and I'm lucky to have people who will financially like support me, my parents, I still paid for those myself. And because of that, I don't have pretty much any extra spending money right now. I just have basics for college, for like food and groceries and other necessities, but I don't have the expenses right now to be able to go like buy some fun extra thing because of those financial decisions. So my tip for you is to just conserve as much as you can in the beginning and use what you already have. You don't need to buy things like fancy cameras, fancy tripods, all those things. You don't really need to do that until you are making income to justify the need to upgrade and stuff. So just make be creative. You know, you're a creative person. You can come up with some things to like make a cool product photo or like balance it on a bunch of books. That's what I'm doing right now. So balance the camera on a bunch of books. Conserve your money until you actually start seeing profits. Just be smart about it. The next tip I have would be to not stress yourself out too much. Like, I feel like I definitely went into like the creation of like YouTube and Instagram and like business and everything with a lot of stress that everything had to be perfect right off the bat. And you know, I feel like most high achieving people like kind of are hard on themselves if things aren't perfect. Like, perfectionism is a struggle. I'm recovering perfectionist. But early on, like, it doesn't quite matter as much. Something I've seen in a lot of helpful videos about just like getting started is that in the beginning is not time to like make a perfectly crafted video, a perfectly crafted feed, and like organization of how the posts look all consecutively together and stuff. The early on stages are not the time for that. Like, you can practice that, sure, but you're really just like getting things off the ground. You know, you're getting ideas going, you're figuring out how you want to do things. So it should be fun and not stressful. Something that one of my mentors told me that has been really helpful is when you start out making content and creations and art or whatever you're going to be making, in the early stages, the best thing to do is to make a whole different variety of things and just see what you like and what sticks. So for example, for Instagram and like other short form content, she said the best way to like figure out what you like and what does well and other things that fulfill your categories for what you're looking for is to make a high volume of content that you can use and post consecutively, and then just see which ones do the best, which things, which trends, which audios, etc. A lot of stuff, a lot of different variables, but it should be fun. So just like make a whole bunch of content and have fun with it. You know, you can be creative and showcase things that you're working on or like you're planning on, designs. Anything really can be content. That's something I figured out. Literally pretty much anything can be content. And another way to say it is like just throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And that's how you begin to build up your audience and like following. And I, again, am really small, so I only have around 450 followers on Instagram right now, which isn't a lot, but it's like a pretty big number to me. And that's like still crazy for me to think about that many people like my art and my business and stuff. But I've experimented a lot with different reels and other short form content and long form content on YouTube to see what sticks. But also, I just post for me because I'm not making money off of this currently. Like, I have no other motivations or intentions or like reasons for doing it. It's just fun. And that's what your goal should be in the beginning. It should be to just have fun and like figure out what works for you, figure out what you want your brand to look like, and just don't stress yourself out because anything can be content. Use what you already have and just have fun with it. Be authentic and just like throw everything at the wall, metaphorically, don't actually, and see what sticks. Another tip I have is to kind of draw inspiration and like help from other people on the internet who are already doing what you want to do. For example, I have a lot of inspirations. They're mentors in a way that I get knowledge from their videos. I haven't necessarily like personally one-on-one been mentored by them, but inspirations and like people you look up to, for me it's like Uncomfy / Tammy and Tiffany Wang, Tiffany Tan Apple Cheeks, Tofu Goob, Megan Wing, all of those artists, She's L, a bunch of them. There's a lot more. Draw inspiration from like those people that you look up to and whose like art and content you like to consume. Don't copy them. Copying is not cool. And while like, oh, I forgot to say Annika's Leaf. Sorry, I literally love Annika's Leaf. She's one of the first people that got me into like vlogging, and I literally love her. Copying is not cool. Let's not do that. Again, like, be authentic, and like you may have some things in common with other people, but downright copying and like just trying to like become someone else is not cool. That's not authentic. It's not what we're going for. So, but drawing inspiration is not copying, and the point of sharing one's art is to like share it, you know, and like have other people see it, but that doesn't mean copying, and copying is not cool. So inspiration and like full-on plagiarizing are two different things. So you can like incorporate things you like from other people's like vlog styles or short form content or art even, but as long as you do it, if you have to give credit if it is very, very close, or just incorporate small bits of it into your style to make something that is unique to you, because people are looking for what makes you unique. They're not looking for a ripoff of Uncomfy, okay? So again, don't copy. It's important to like be inspired by not only art and such, but like the kinds of content people are making. Like, that's not copying. If you see someone has a reel that's like a get ready with me and it's doing really, really well, it's not copy to take that idea and be like, oh, I could do a get ready of my own. You just have to make sure that it's you and it's your personal take on the reel and the content or the art or whatever. You take the very basic concept and you recreate it in your own version. That's what makes it not copying, because no one can copyright like a get ready with me. Everyone does it. All those vloggers do it. All those TikTokers do it. It's everywhere. But the smartest way to go about using that for content is to see what is already trending and to also hop on that if you feel like it. I don't think everyone should do all the trends or like even too many trends. Just do what makes you happy and what aligns with what you want to create and put out into the world. Because there are some trends that I don't think are super cool or like promote good things. So as long as you're like being true to your personal values and like what makes you you as you're making this content and art, that is what matters. One of the most important tips, I think, is to just be okay with the fact that your first video, your first art piece, your first test product, your first of any of these forms of content or creation is gonna suck. And that's just the hard reality. But I watched a video when I was starting my YouTube channel, and that was one of the things that I had seen from many different YouTubers, that the first one, especially the first video you make, the first long form content, is gonna suck. And that's okay. That's something you have to be okay with, is kind of failing and trying again and making mistakes and figuring out what works for you. I love being able to see the progress of someone's vlogs or someone's content. And while it is not fun to like go back and watch the first vlog that I made, it's really cool to see how I've progressed from that point in time to where I am right now, because it's like a cute little time capsule. Like, you can see month by month or even like days by days of how I progress and how I'm learning. And it's not necessarily failure, but you can definitely see a major improvement from like my most current vlog and this video from the very first video I posted. Being okay with the fact that your first thing, the thing that's gonna get you off the ground, that's gonna get you started, is not going to be your best, is okay. You just need to be okay with that fact and just keep going. Because even though it might be scary to know that people are seeing this video that's not maybe perfect, you know, because you're just starting out, is really scary. And that's something that I had to deal with, and I have a lot of anxiety around general posting, but 𝒻𝓇𝒾𝑒 has been super helpful. Her like tips on comfiness versus uncomfiness and like anxious people have been super helpful, and is actually what motivated me to like start my own channel and account and everything. So a business, just reconcile with the fact that you're not perfect, that the first video you make isn't going to be perfect, and that's okay, because it is growth. You are a growing human being, and you're just going to get better as the more you go on and the more videos you make, and eventually an audience, a group of people who have similar interests, who enjoy your art, your business, your content, the things you're saying, anything that you're putting out into the world that is positive and authentic. People will find that and really be able to connect with it. So as long as you have your values prioritized and are true to yourself, it doesn't matter the mean comments that are left. It doesn't matter the people who don't follow, don't subscribe. If you feel like things aren't maybe going your way, you have to kind of keep your eyes on like the bigger picture, because even if this video doesn't get 100,000 likes or views, that's not really the end goal, right? We're out here still just having fun and being creative, and that's the point. And if you go farther to get to a point where you're monetized, then you'll grow from there, because you've figured things out this far, you know? You've figured things out this far in life, so you're gonna figure out the next things that come, and you're gonna be okay. My last tip for this video is one you've probably heard before, but it's time to just start. The main thing that holds people back from achieving the things they want to do, like start a YouTube channel or start an Instagram for their art, start selling things, is there's so many anxieties, there's so many fears, so many things that we just get in our heads about. Ties into the point your first video isn't going to be perfect. A lot of people are scared by the fact that people are going to see that we aren't perfect on the first try and be able to see where we've messed up and stuff. But having courage to actually take the leap of faith and just start it, even if it's messy, if it's imperfect, that is what truly makes someone different from, like, in case of business, the difference between an entrepreneur and a wantrepreneur is just starting. Because you might have all these great ideas and thoughts and concepts and products or like art you want to sell, but if you don't just start, there's no way you can get those things into action and reality and actually start moving forward with those goals and those things, dreams, aspirations, everything that you want to do. You just have to start. And that is one of the main things I've learned in my entrepreneurship classes, in my art classes, and in my own personal like journey going through this. What I've observed from other artists too. One of the main things that is communicated a lot is to just start. And while it's probably cliche and like you've probably heard it a bunch of times, it's true, because you just need to start and your future self will thank you, because you starting right now means that things will be able to grow and progress and that you'll actually be getting closer and closer to what you want. So just start. Like, it's not that hard. It doesn't have to be some fancy thing. You don't have to sign up for booths. You don't have to make a website right away. Just start the account, start the Instagram, or even start the business if you want. You can go out and get the clay supplies or go get the crochet hooks you wanted. Just start, because life is short, and what are you waiting for? Whew. This is my first time doing a video that's like, it wasn't scripted. I had some bullet points, but like it wasn't a vlog focused one, so I hope anyone watching enjoyed it. I definitely wish I had known a lot of these things when I had started my accounts or business, when I had started this whole small artist journey. So I just want to like share the knowledge and the experience that I've gained as I've kind of gone through this crazy thing, of starting a business and being a solo one-woman owner and founder of it. And yeah, I just want to be able to see other people inspired the way I was inspired by my inspirations, my favorite artists like Tammy and Annika's Leaf and 𝒻𝓃𝒾𝑒, all those great people. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I kind of want to do a whole section aside from vlogs that are more of these video essay types, because I got a lot of things to say, you know, like I got a lot of opinions, and I'm already doing this, and I got a lot of free time that I should be doing homework, but you know. So let me know if you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, you know, because I am very small and I'd like to kind of find the audience, the people who like my art and kind of vibe with me. So thank you. Have a good rest of your day. I will see you later. She's L, a bunch of them, and